Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 7 o'clock main news. In tonight's headlines, Iraq's militiamen parade in a show of force in Baghdad and several other cities in southern Iraq with heavy weaponry. The UN Secretary General strongly urges the UN Security Council to meet the humanitarian needs of the Syrian people. A suicide car bombing in Kabul aimed at a senior government official killed one civilian and wounded 3 others. And Chinese police shoot dead 13 people who attacked a police station in the restive northwest region of Xinjiang. His Highness the Emir Sheikh Sabah Al-Ahmed Al-Jaber Al-Sabah sent a cable of congratulations to the custodian of the 2 holy mosques, King Abdullah bin Abdul Aziz Al Saud of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, on the occasion of the monarch's safe return home. His Highness the Crown Prince Sheikh Nawaf Al-Ahmed Al-Jaber Al-Sabah sent a cable of congratulations to the custodian of the 2 holy mosques, King Abdullah bin Abdul Aziz Al Saud of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, on the occasion of the monarch's safe return home. His Highness Sheikh Jabir Al-Mubarak Al-Hamad Al-Sabah, the Prime Minister, also sent a similar cable. Thousands of Iraqis paraded through the streets of Baghdad, raising tension and amid continued fighting in areas of Iraq. The militants led by the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant, or the ISIL, were reported to have seized a strategically important border crossing to Syria near the town of Al-Qa'im, killing 13 troops after a day-long battle today. Al-Qa'im and its neighbouring Syrian counterpart Al-Bukamal are on a strategic supply route. A 3-year civil war in Syria has left most of eastern Syria in the hands of militants, including the Al-Bukamal and Al-Qa'im crossing. Meanwhile, US President Barack Obama said ISIL, which has an estimated 10,000 fighters, exploited a power vacuum in Syria to amass arms and resources, but denied this was because the US had not moved to back moderate rebel forces fighting President Bashar al-Assad. UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon strongly urged the Security Council to meet urgently the humanitarian needs in Syria and those with influence to convince the warring parties to end the violence, reminding everyone that the deliberate targeting of civilians is a war crime. He also said that member states with influence on the warring parties can and must do more to demand that the violence end, that sieges are lifted, and that vital humanitarian assistance reaches all areas of the country, insisting that humanitarian assistance must be allowed to reach those in need via all routes available, both cross-line and cross-border. He reiterated that the UN is ready to put in place speedy, pragmatic and practical arrangements at critical border crossings to facilitate delivery of humanitarian aid, and that such arrangements would allow UN convoys to cross the border into Syria in their own vehicles without the need for specific permits or visas. He added that Australia, Luxembourg and Jordan are working on a draft resolution under Chapter 7 of the UN Charter, enforceable by military force or sanctions, by which the Council would call for aid to go into Syria from 4 border crossings with neighbouring countries without the approval of Damascus. Lawyers said that an Egyptian court confirmed today the death sentences of more than 180, including the top leader of the Muslim Brotherhood, adding that the ruling can be overturned on appeal. It wasn't immediately clear how many sentences had been confirmed, with the attorneys giving estimates ranging from 182 to 197. The case springs from an attack on a police station in the town of Al-Adwa, near the southern city of Minya, on August 14th, in which 1 policeman and 1 civilian were killed. The charges ranged from sabotage and terrorizing civilians to murder. With the ongoing imposed siege and its harsh consequences, Gaza has been the target of several airstrikes for the 9th day in a row, leaving at least 6 people injured. More details with KTV2's correspondent Majd El-Wahidi from Gaza.
A series of raids by Israeli warplanes in the Gaza Strip, 6 Palestinians were injured Friday. Spokesperson for the Palestinian Ministry of Health said that 4 children were amongst those injured.
التصعيد الإسرائيلي الأخي
The recent Israeli attacks are very bad. Also, the siege is worsening our life. We are used to the sound of the pumping and death news. All of this made us die in silence. As you see, we don't live a normal life.
The Israeli military said through media reports that the strikes came in response to 2 rockets launched from Gaza late Thursday. But this is not the first time. While Israel tightens its grip on the West Bank, it also pounds Gaza on a daily basis. For consecutive 9 days, the besieged enclave has been witnessing heavy presence of Israeli drones and several airstrikes. Less than 2 weeks ago, 3 Israeli settlers were kidnapped in the West Bank. Israel believes that Hamas is behind the kidnapping. However, no Palestinian party claimed responsibility so far, nor Israel issued an evidence of Palestinian involvement. And now with the ongoing airstrikes, it remains to be seen if things will end soon, or if Gaza's 1.8 million residents will remain trapped between Israel's crippling blockade and war attacks. In a new violation, eyewitnesses said Israeli Navy vessels attacked the Palestinian fishing boat and kidnapped 2 fishermen before taking them to an unknown destination. The attack took place Thursday in Palestinian waters in the northern Gaza Strip. Meanwhile, Israeli soldiers arrested a Palestinian man at the Erez terminal while on way to seek medical treatment. Human rights organizations in Gaza voiced their concerns over Israel's continuous offensives.
It's part of the Israeli continuous aggression on the Palestinians. At the same time, we consider it as a grave violation to the different international humanitarian law and the other conventions. So we are calling on the international community in order to intervene, to release all the Palestinian prisoners and to guarantee the free, safe access for Palestinians, mainly the patients, and at the same time for the Palestinian fishermen.
After 8 years of a total Israeli closure, failed peace negotiations and continuous airstrikes in the name of security, Palestinians in Gaza believe that the international community should take an immediate action before it's too late. Majlou Haidi, Kuwait TV, Gaza.
Afghan security officials said a suicide car bombing in Kabul aimed at a senior government official killed 1 civilian and wounded 3 others today, but didn't harm its apparent target. The suicide bomber detonated his explosives-laden vehicle alongside the armoured car of Mohammad Masoom Stanikzai, a senior official in the High Peace Council, a government body tasked with peace talks with the Taliban insurgency. Stanikzai, who also serves as an advisor to President Hamid Karzai, wasn't harmed because he was travelling in an armoured car. No group claimed responsibility for the attack. The attack came a week after a presidential runoff to choose a successor to Karzai, who has governed Afghanistan since 2001. At least 47 people were injured after a powerful explosion occurred at a shrine in Pakistan last night. 34 were taken to hospital, where 4 are in critical condition. No deaths were reported as yet. The blast took place at the shrine of Naj Badshah near the famous Shan Pir Badsa shrine in Pindorian neighbourhood on the outskirts of Islamabad. Police officer Mohammed Akram said that a homemade bomb had been planted near a tree in the courtyard of the shrine of Shan Pir Badshah. Pakistani forces are still investigating the attack. Pakistan is on high alert as its military pounds militant targets in restive North Waziristan near the Afghan border in operation against the Pakistani Taliban. Pro-Russian separatists carried out several attacks on Ukrainian troops despite a unilateral ceasefire declared by Kiev. Ukrainian officials say at least 6 border guards were injured in shelling by the insurgents in the east overnight. Badria Saleh has more on the story.
Pro-Russian separatists dismissed the truce called by Ukrainian President Petro Poroshenko, the first step of his peace plan. The separatists attacked 3 Ukrainian border posts in the Donetsk and Luhansk regions. Ukrainian forces returned fire, but Ukraine's border guard service said its personnel in some regions were forced to retreat into Russian territory. President Poroshenko declared a week-long ceasefire yesterday. The president unveiled proposals for his peace plan involving decentralizing power, holding early elections, and creating a 10-kilometer buffer zone on the Ukrainian-Russian border. However, self-appointed governor of the Donetsk People's Republic stated no ceasefire is being observed in Slavyansk. Dozens of pro-Russian armed militia members gathered to take an oath of allegiance to the self-proclaimed Donetsk People's Republic in a show of strength against the Ukrainian president. Meanwhile, the U.S. imposed sanctions against 7 pro-Russian leaders in Ukraine. Western leaders are threatening additional sanctions against Russia, which they accuse of stoking tensions in Ukraine, though Moscow denies the claim.
13 assailants have been killed in an attack on a police station in China's restive western province of Xinjiang. The attackers drove a car into the station and set off explosives today as 3 police officers suffered minor injuries, but no civilians were hurt. China has been on edge since a suicide bombing last month killed 39. Capital Urumqi. Chinese authorities have blamed the attacks on extremists bent on overthrowing Beijing's rule. The government says the assailants have ties to terror groups abroad. Kuwait Diabetes Society, or the KDS, in collaboration with the Departments of Education and Training, Clinical Services, Nutrition and Public Relations at Dasman Diabetes Institute, held the first future camp for children with diabetes entitled Towards a Better Tomorrow. During the 3-day camp, children engaged in multiple activities like swimming, basketball, training, bowling and a visit to the scientific centre. Sarah Glove has more in this report.
Kuwait Diabetes Society, in collaboration with Dasman Diabetes Institute, held a ceremony to mark the conclusion of the first ever diabetes camp for children in Kuwait.
The diabetes camp is an idea that's been executed in several countries before, and it's one of the activities that we perform under the IDF. The idea of the camp is to have the kids with diabetes living together, living with their staff, medical staff, the educators and the dietitian, and to be taken to the normal activities of life together with the entertainment activity and exercise. So during the camp we took them into several activities, including physical activities, and those include basketballs sessions and swimming sessions. During that session we taught them how to take care of exercise, what to do, what precautions they should take, and also how to check blood sugar. And after the exercise they also saw the effect of exercise on their blood sugar. And also we took them through several entertainment activity. We took them to the IMAX, the scientific center, and during that time they had a lot of fun. They were bonding together, they supported each other, they make new friendship, and they got the idea that they're not alone in the community, and there are a lot of kids with diabetes that are living normal life.
This event is the first diabetes camp for kids in Kuwait, and a camp is designed really to bring children with diabetes together to learn skills in self-management and also to have fun. And it's a journey, it's an adventure mainly, and to know the benefits of physical activity on their blood sugar. And also it's to take them away from their families, and so they can be independent.
22 boys aged 11 to 14 years and affected by type 1 diabetes participated in a full 3-day camp accompanied by a team of pediatric endocrinologists, certified diabetes educators, nutritionists and nurses, as well as volunteers from the Blue Circle campaign under the IDF's Young Leaders program.
Some of the kids are on insulin injections, some of them are on insulin pumps. So we've managed for the medical part. We were with them the whole 48 hours during camp, on call, manage their exercise activities, manage their food intake, carb counting, and if there is any medical emergencies, which nothing happened so far, we were able to manage it with our special expertise and medical equipments.
Diabetes camps provide a safe haven and offer a rich experience for children with diabetes to develop their self-management skills, independence, group bonding and team building in an atmosphere of adventure and fun. Dasman Diabetes Institute is renowned in the state of Kuwait for organizing various events that aim to raise awareness in a fun and lighthearted way on the issues related to diabetes. And this time they have brought the first ever future camp for children with diabetes in collaboration with Kuwait Diabetes Society. From the Regency Hotel, this is Sarah Glib reporting for English News.
The French Institute Kuwait recently held a concert at Beit Lothan to celebrate World Music Day, commonly known as Fête de la Musique. To celebrate World Music Day, the French Institute invited a well-known French musical band called Epsilon to entertain a large, enthusiastic audience. A number of local artists also performed songs of different genres and styles. More on this with our correspondent Rinwa Japouri.
Fête de la Musique World Music Day is an annual music festival celebrated in more than 460 cities in 100 countries, including Germany, Italy, Egypt, Syria, Morocco, South Africa, Australia and Vietnam. Its purpose is to promote music by encouraging amateur and professional musicians to perform in the streets. In addition, many free concerts are organized worldwide. In Paris, all concerts must be free to the public and all performers donate their time for free.
It's a young, powerful French band. They came from France yesterday. Actually, they give interviews here in the press. And I think that they're absolutely delighted to be in Kuwait. It's their first time in Kuwait, and the place here in Beit Lothan is extremely warm and cheerful, and a lot of Kuwaitis. So I hope that this night will be exceptional, and people will be happy with French music.
I'm here for the French concert. Very excited to listen to their music tonight. Language itself is a music to the ear. So music times music is like music squared, which is amazing. So we're very excited about their performance tonight.
An enchanting and vibrant evening with French songs, rock and traditional music infused the large audience with joy, energy and excitement. French music, English music as well as traditional music was performed at Beit Lothan by French artists as well as local artists who played the music of French band Epsilon to recreate the festive atmosphere of the Fête de la Musique.
It's to celebrate the Fête de la Musique, and in France it's a very big day. It's the 21st of June in France, and everybody in every street of France is playing music, and there's concerts everywhere. So I'm sure it's gonna be, having all the energy and the passion that you need for this day, Fête de la Musique. So it's very nice to have it early so we can enjoy it here. And you can hear it actually. Oh, they sing in English. Right, but no, French music is very creative, and I'm sure it's going to be great.
The idea of the musical evening was to discover Kuwaiti and French musicians. The first part of the evening witnessed young local talents play different genres of music, while the second half of the concert witnessed Epsilon play a blend of rock and traditional music.
French music has always been adored by societies around the globe for its beautiful, deep and inspiring rhythms. Tonight, a very enthusiastic audience had the opportunity to embrace and enjoy the energy and beauty of live French music. From Beit Lothan, I'm Rinwa Japouri reporting to you for the English News.
In the World Cup 2014, Costa Rica beat Italy 1-0, while France defeated Switzerland 5-2 and Ecuador beat Honduras 2-1 in yesterday's matches. Tonight, Argentina will face Iran in Group F, Germany will play against Ghana in Group G, and Nigeria will play off Bosnia and Herzegovina in Group F. For a chance to see our reports again, please visit our YouTube channel at MOI Kuwait News. And to recap tonight's news, here are the headlines once again. Iraq's militiamen parade in a show of force in Baghdad and several other cities in southern Iraq with heavy weaponry. The UN Secretary General strongly urges the UN Security Council to meet the humanitarian needs of the Syrian people. A suicide car bombing in Kabul aimed at a senior government official kills one civilian and wounds 3 others. And Chinese police shoot dead 13 people who attacked a police station in the restive northwest region of Xinjiang. Thank you for joining us.